right? Like there's so many levels in life. And so like some people, they could never fathom that bringing them joy. Taking time away from your family, time away from your business to teach others, to show others how to grow and how to be better versions of themselves and how to, that, you know, with me already, that brings me all the joy.
Yeah.
Right? Like that to me is like better than a $10 million deal. Like to be standing in front of a room and you're actually having a positive influence and impact on someone's life and their family's life. Man, like there's just something about that is, it's God-given. It's like, wow, I'm here to do this.
What is up, guys? This is the Seed Time and Harvest podcast. This is episode 18. Have more fun with my main man, my running mate, Alex Chapman.
Yo.
I'm Nate Forse. Ready to kick this thing off, dude.
Oh my gosh. I'm so tired. It's hard to have fun today. So you and I were talking, obviously, like, you know, this year is already feels like, I mean, I can't believe it's already almost the end of January. You kind of get through like the New Year's blues of just everyone kind of being in their head about the new year, new them. We talked about that before. It's getting old. To me, it's just getting old. We're getting older, but it's getting old. The new year stuff's getting old, and I think we've kind of embarked on some cool stuff this year already that I think is going to carry us on for a very long time.
Yeah.
Right? Like some light bulbs have gone off. Some really amazing energy, and so that you and I were talking before this, and we're talking about what we're going to discuss and everything, and have more fun came up. So I wanna. You said you're having more fun. I mean, having fun can be. I mean, it's a wide spectrum. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff, but dude, having more fun is an essential part of living a full life.
Yeah.
What do you mean? So having more fun at work, having more fun at home with the kiddos, having more fun with wifey, having more fun, you know, working out, having more fun with what do you mean? Like, what do you mean having more fun? Is it what does that mean? Like, because when you ask me, like, dude, you have more fun, my brain just like it opens up to like, I completely agree with you, and I have so many different thoughts on this. So what do you mean, like, have more fun?
So to take it back, like in our leadership meeting from, I think it was Tuesday, Mikey shared 3 things to make an impact and to show your personality. That made me think of the national championship game, Ohio State and who'd they play?
Notre Dame,
yeah. And obviously Ohio State lost to Michigan, huge rivalry. They were calling for the head coach's head and all this stuff, because he couldn't beat Michigan. I think he's lost 4 years in a row or something like that. But here he is winning the national championship. And what they did after that game, like every loss, it's like you never lose. You're either winning or learning, right? So it's either you take that L as signs that you're not going in the right direction, I'm not good enough, blah, 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 or a winning mentality says, what do I need to learn from this? Because this doesn't define me and who I am. And what they said, a lot of the older players came back and they said, you guys need to have more fun. Like, you're getting caught up in the media.
That's right.
All this stuff.
Okay.
And it clicked for me. I'm like, dang, that's one thing I'm doing right now is like, I'm having more fun in my business, particularly because I'm bringing people on the journey with me. Like, I committed this year. I was like, I'm not going to do a deal alone. I'm going to bring someone in regardless, you know? So whether that looks like me being, you know, the B person or me being the A person, I'm going to be with somebody. And it's like, man, it has been so much more fun because it's not just about me. I'm not just like out on this journey, like, yeah, I'm killing it.
So be with them like in the office, be with them on a showing, be with them
in the office,
on the phone,
a showing,
everything.
Just including, like, I've been in my car. I like last year, I'd get home or I'd be driving home and I was just like listening to a podcast or something, kind of just in my own head. This year I found myself calling people all the time. Hey, how'd it go today? What do you think of this? Da, 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 da. And man, I'm just having so much more fun. Like, I'm waking up early in the morning. My alarm's usually set for 5:15. 4 out of 5 days this week, I woke up at 5 without an alarm.
Bang.
You know, I'm in my ice bath. I'm in my gym. You know, I was probably getting 3 to 4 workouts in last year consistently. But this year, I've been 5 days every week. You know, it's just like I found.
We got to chase Mikey and get 7.
Hey,
He's
you
in
need
7
a rest
days.
day too, you know?
He does active recovery.
Yeah, there you go. But it's like, I feel like getting out of just being me, being on the journey myself.
Yeah.
Being conscious about bringing people other on the journey. Like like we talked about the valley a few weeks ago. Like I got up to the top of this hill last year financially, and it was like, oh, it's just me. You know, this year I'm like, it's not successful if I get to the top of that mountain, and I'm going to get to the top of that mountain again. But it's not like, dude, I got you with me and you with me and you with me. Like, and that's where I'm having more fun. I've noticed like my vibration is higher. Like we're in an influence business.
Yeah.
You know, we're in sales. So if your vibration is low, you're not going to influence someone very well at all.
Oh no, you're
And it's
done.
all those little things that tie into that. But ultimately I feel like it's a bigger purpose than myself now. Like I heard someone say once, if your vision only requires you, it's not big enough.
Yep.
And I was like, well, dang, I've been a solopreneur my whole life. It's always only been about me, because I learned that in high school when my team won 6 games in 3 years of football. I would have gone crazy if I was worried about, like, we're not going to win this game. I got beat 63-0 one game. So my point is like I learned to just kind of like focus on myself and do as hard as I could every single day. But I was ultimately really scared of the light inside of me of actually being the leader that I've always meant to be. You know, and like stepping out and saying, no, like we're going to the top. I always kind of lowered my bar and blended in, as opposed to saying like, nah, dude, I'm not going to drink tonight. Or nah, dude, I'm going to stay in. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm not going to go smash these pizzas and wings and beers with you. You know?
So I'll challenge you a little bit.
Yeah,
like what, like, so like I hear you, and I'm sure anyone that's listening does too, but like what, like when you, I think for the people listening, I mean, you and I, you know, we're in sync, and I understand everything you're saying.
Yeah.
For the people listening, like that might not sound like fun to them. Someone's like, have more fun. Like, I know what you're thinking with like, so where are you finding the joy? So like last year, talk just like to tee you up a little bit for this. So last year you were top producing agent, made more income than you've made before. Really found, doing some self-assessing, you found a bunch of stuff that you loved, hated about this industry. Like, I love this, I'll always do this, don't like this, need an assistant for that, don't really, start building this like, AI bot of yourself of like, okay, this is how I'm going to move forward. And then stepping into, leadership and now taking on kind of the younger, generation. And they might not be younger, but like younger an experience level with real estate, right? Or even just mindset. They might be closer to us in age, but maybe they haven't reached some of the peaks and some of the valleys that you and I have reached already, right? So they're a little behind there, but maybe they're ahead here. Where are you finding the fun in it? Where is it going? Oh man, this is so much more fun. I'm just curious.
Yeah, it's been kind of a revelation for me over the past week. Did a listing presentation, and it was like, I'm actually teaching this now, as opposed to me just being like, yeah, that was cool, but it was just like, I didn't win with anyone else.
Guys.
Exactly. So it's like, hey, what did you learn from this? Take this away. And like giving those nuggets, it's like, it's more blessed to give than to receive, right?
Yep.
Well, it really is. But like, you also have to receive. There has to be an even exchange on that. So it's like, I've received all this, and now like realizing at the end of last year was like, no, man, it's time to give now.
Yeah.
If I stay in just like, yeah, I can do this, and I could double my business or whatever it looks like, but it'd be unfulfilling, and like, it's just, lonely. I came to that. It's like, think about like when you started this business, you were always with somebody, like you had a small group of killers, and you guys had a crazy energy that like attracted people to you. Your vibe attracts your tribe, right? Like attracts like. So when you raise your vibration, it's like, I've already seen like higher price deals come into my life. I'm not chasing this stuff, dude. When your vibration raises, it just naturally comes.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you have to become the person you want to become before you can have what you want to have. So it's like a lot of people do that backwards. They chase the material thing, not realizing that you're actually going to attract it into your life, as opposed to, like, I got to go get this. No. It's going to come to you, and you're going to receive it when you're ready.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I hope that answered your question. But
it did. I mean, it did. And like but that's so interesting, because it's like there's levels to this, right? Like there's so many levels in life, and so like some people, they could never fathom that bringing them joy. Taking time away from your family, time away from your business to teach others, to show others how to grow and how to be better versions of themselves, and how to with me already, that brings me all the joy.
Yeah.
right? Like that to me is like better than a $10 million deal. Like to be standing in front of a room and you're actually having a positive influence and impact on someone's life and their family's life. Man, like there's something about that is God-given. It's like, wow, I'm here to do this, right? And you do, and you're finding that, you know, in yourself, and that's really cool because we get to do this together. And it's like, once you find it and you realize it is God-given, you can't hoard all this talent.
Yeah.
Right? You cannot hoard all this talent. So when you asked me like have more fun, it brought me all the way back to when we first started B1, and it was just the guys, and the reason we had each other in this little group was literally that, to have fun. Dude, that's why we were always fucking around, cracking jokes, like busting on each other, because that's just what we wanted our world to be, is kind of like that locker room culture. That's literally how it was. Like, dude, there's 4 guys in there that were all jocks.
Yep.
That we just sat in a room as big as this room and we just busted on each other all day long.
Yeah.
Whether they didn't get the deal done, busted on them. They did get it done, busted on them. Right? In a healthy manner. Like we weren't like bullying each other. But like it was like we loved the joy, the funness of, oh man, you wouldn't believe what happened today. You wouldn't believe what he said, she said, what I did. And we loved that camaraderie, that friendship. And we fast forward now, like all these years, and there's definitely been moments where it was not fun.
Sure.
Right. Like, and that's where you don't want it. If you're listening, you don't want to think like you can't have fun every day. You can find joy though in moments of your day. Then you really do need to seek the joy in the moments of what impact are you making on someone, right? Like, because there's times where I've gone a whole day, 12 hours of just constant work and talking, but it was the one interview I did that I found all the joy in that day. Like, wow, today's work, man, if I didn't get to talk to that person today would have been kind of shit.
Yeah.
It would have been kind of an L.
Yeah.
You know, but you find it because you're seeking others and to bring others with you. Where if you're just alone in your head all day, then you don't have anyone else to either go to for advice, go to for, you know, hey, am I looking at this right? Or going to like to congratulate and bring up, man, I'm proud of you. How many times is like, especially as men, like, do you get to go to someone and be like, dude, I'm really proud of you, bro? Yeah. Like, there's not many, and women, right? Like that don't hear that because they're the person that has to handle all the shit. Yeah. So to be able to be in that role, to walk up and be like, dude, I'm really proud of you, deserve this. Yeah. And then be like, whoa, I haven't heard that in 10 years. Right? And you and I get this blessing that we now get to go bless someone else with this joy, this fun, because it's not about the job. Real estate is not sexy. Even if you're doing luxury all the time, the only thing what's the bathroom is sexy. The car in the garage is, maybe the foyer, that like when you walk in, it's great, whatever. The actual process, whether you're dealing with a $10 million deal or $10,000 land deal, sucks. Yeah. People kind of suck. Yeah. You find out everything about people, and it takes the joy away, the funness away from everything. And so I feel like we've been able to cultivate and build something pretty cool. Yeah. Where we are better together. You do need to find your people, and you need to bring people along with you constantly. Totally. You look better. You're better, right? Like, you have more credibility. It shines through a little bit more. Like, it just adds an element of like, we need to show up, and we're showing up for each other. And then you go grab a bite afterwards. You crack jokes. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? You're making each other better, you know? So it's, and dude, that's why happy is one of our core values in here, because it's like, if you're not finding time to make laugh and jokes and whatever, that's why we're always just trying to dude, you see, there's like, we'll call each other and there's like this much of like work, and then let's crack some jokes. You know, because if you can't do that, you know, so find a place you can do that.
It's making me think of a quote I heard a long time ago: you help enough people get what they want, you'll have everything you want. You know, and like talking about joy versus happiness, I think happiness is a result of your circumstances. Like, when I'm with my family, I'm happy. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, if I go out and do a showing, it doesn't go great, I might not be happy, but I can still be joyful. You know, joy is like a state of being. Like, I believe that's something you can have regardless. Like, you think it, like, you've ever read that book by Viktor Frankl? He was in a concentration camp, and he basically like created a whole system on like how to survive. Like, what's worse circumstances than being in a concentration camp? Like, seeing people, your friends and family, literally like wasting away and dying every day. But the story's amazing. So I'd encourage anyone to like Google him and read him. But like, he had joy every day. He wasn't happy, you know? And so like, I think your joy can be all the time. Like, I'm going to be happy on a beach, right? It's hard to be happy, but you could also be sad even though your circumstances.
I've been sad on a beach.
Yeah, for sure. But point being is like, happiness is a lot of like dependence on your environment, right? Or what's going on around you. But like, you can be joyful regardless of what's going on around you.
God, man, that's such a constant battle.
Yeah.
God, and it's just so. I will say this. I don't care how many episodes we do. I have such a beef with today's society because it is a constant battle of mental illness, finding happiness, finding joy, right? And you are constantly being robbed of it because of the brainwashing.
What's it say though? Comparison is the thief of joy,
yeah,
not key thief of happiness.
No, it's the thief of joy.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. We've talked about this too to ad nauseum. Like you and I have gone through this, and I think it's relevant for 150 episodes.
Yeah.
Of like, the more people that hear this need to see like the mindless scrolling, the doom scrolling on Netflix and Hulu and everything. And I even told you I had a mild addiction with that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I mean like, when I say mild, I mean like. You know, there was a few hours of my day at night that were going into just shit that just was not serving me at all.
Think about it though. Like, anytime those challenges come in, I was a full blown porn addict. Full blown. Like, it was bad. Like, I haven't been addicted to alcohol or drugs. Like, even though I did that stuff, it was never like an issue for me. Like, I could turn that off whenever I wanted to. But like,
you're lucky.
The porn was like full blown, you know, just
like
being
if it
fully
was crack,
vulnerable.
You'd be on the street, and just
literally.
roaming around.
Like I always said when I was a fitness coach, one man's heroin is another man's Hershey bar.
Right.
So you could be addicted to food, or you could be addicted to shoving a needle in your arm on the street under a bridge, you know. But like, basically, what I was saying, like, I lost my train of thought on that. But like, going back to joy, yeah. Anyhow, keep going.
All good.
Dude.
No. I mean, I think. Going through this, right, of the comparison being the thief of joy.
Yeah.
For anyone listening, this is I want to hit home on this so as much as we possibly can, because I think that what's changed in me and what's changed in you, and I'm starting to see the change even within our team and some people, is the constant message of self-improvement. It gets diluted and watered down with a million fucking podcasts, with all these. And there are some great people. I mean, stuff that you send me and the things that we watch and stuff. There's incredible human beings that go on and have the guts to get on a mic and try to pump stuff out and help people.
Yeah.
There's things I still listen to this day that I'm like, oh man, I needed to hear that. Right. Then I get in my head and think more the conspiracy side of me that thinks, no, I'm being brainwashed here too. Right. But you can't be brainwashed on self-improvement.
Yeah.
Right? You cannot be brainwashed on workouts. You cannot be brainwashed on eating better. You cannot be brainwashed on stop watching porno. You cannot be brainwashed on sobriety. There are certain things that you cannot be brainwashed on your faith in God. Right? I had family of atheists. And I had people that were of faith my whole life. My grandmother, rest in peace, was the most faith-driven person, went to church 7 days a week. She lived her faith. And then on this side of my family, I literally have atheists that are like, nope, there is no God. We're all energy and vibration. And when the lights are out, they're out, motherfucker. That's it. Don't go down this road. You did science, right? And then I have, it's like, well, how has God shown up for you and all this stuff? So you can only be brainwashed with the things that they want you to be brainwashed with, which is the media, which is doom scrolling. Things like, and doom scrolling is, the brainwashing is just being so addicted to the rhythm of going on Instagram, TikTok, or whatever, and scrolling through. It is, they say it is equal to the addiction of heroin.
Yeah.
So when you hear that and you watch the what was it? The Social Dilemma on Netflix, right? And it's scary. It's terrifying. So as you and I are talking about it, like joy, finding your vibration, finding happiness, I am telling you, people, you doom scrolling on Instagram, mindlessly scrolling on TikTok or whatever it is, I understand there's a level of our society and humanity right now that it's just part of all of our cultures. Yeah. But you have to know, are you laying in your bed for 2, 3, 4 hours and you're missing workouts? Or you're on the toilet for 45 extra minutes,
legs asleep.
Yeah, you have to realize, like any addiction, do you have a problem?
Totally.
Right? Because it's one thing for you and I to send each other some memes, but the stuff you and I go back and forth, it's either just a joke or it's some like conspiracy rabbit hole you go down, right? It's like, but sitting there and being like, for 3-4 hours, dude, that's scary. It's really scary. Totally. And that is robbing you of joy. It's robbing you of happiness. And you're spending so many hours just draining dopamine and serotonin. Just sucking it out of you like a drug, like cocaine, like heroin, like crack, like meth, like alcohol.
Yeah. And that was going to be my point with the porn. It's always about yourself.
Came full circle.
I know, right? It's always about you. And the way to start breaking that is to get out of your own head and start giving to other people. So that's like what literally broke me of that. Yep. And that's to tie in like this episode, having more fun. You're going to have more fun when you've got people around.
Yep.
I think the phone has been very intentional of what it's been designed to do, to keep you in your own little world where you're very manipulatable then.
Yeah.
If you're getting all your information just from this and you don't, hey, why do you think this way, Alex?
Yeah.
You know, I might view something differently than you, but I'm super curious of like how you got to that point as opposed to like, you're wrong, I'm right, F you. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I think the phone, all these addictions are all selfish acts. It's all about you. You're usually by yourself, you know? So the way you break that to have more fun, because when you start having more fun as don't you want to do more of that?
Yeah.
And so that's how you start to get out of that, your own head. Like when people go on a fitness journey, it sucks for like the first whatever amount of time it is. Yeah. But my point is,
forever.
You start to have more fun. But when you have more people around, this is why group fitness is so powerful too. Because you're around other people, you're in an environment, you usually got music going, all that stuff. So my point is like, in order to break those bad habits, you've got to, number one, get on the journey with somebody, get with someone who's doing the same thing you are, raising your vibration together, changing your life together. And that's where you start having more fun. Then you want to do more of that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like the group fitness was fun. You and I both got to experience that in our life, right? Got to throw on mics and do that. And there's not many people that really can go and experience that. And so, I mean, like, sorry, but it was incredible. It was such a cool part of our lives. And did it at high levels, both of us, right? And that is a really cool... That is so cool to be able to be in a group fitness setting. And that's one of the things that addicted me. I was addicted to that. Yeah. And it was because there was a study, I think, years ago that said that, you know, like a group fitness class with the right music, right energy, right instructor, you give off the same dopamine release as you would if you were like a rave on ecstasy.
Yeah.
Like you have the same feeling that comes through, and there's sexual energy, there's positive energy, there's physical, like I'm getting better and improving my life energy. Like you have everything running through you at the same time, which is like, and you're sober and you're just doing something to better yourself. And that's why people get so addicted to group classes and certain instructors and stuff, because it truly is this magic moment in there.
Talk about the power of music too. I learned once when a song has a beat from 119 beats per second or minute to 124, your brain literally releases dopamine.
Yep.
So that's why like raves are so powerful, because you feel better, you know? Yeah. So I would always play that kind of music because you just naturally feel better. Like I couldn't stand when like an instructor would play like 70s rock or something. It's just like, come on, bro. Like you're taking the vibe down.
Oh, yeah.
But like there's so much power in that as well.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. We boxed this morning with the guys, and Jacob Myers and he's got some hands. Jacob Myers can box, dude. He can box, and he put on a playlist, and it was like old school hip hop initially. Okay. And he was like, man, I got to change this. He like went up and put it on like some of the new stuff. But for me, what's strange about boxing is and that's what's so cool about boxing is like I can literally box to like classical music.
Really?
Because it's like it's like you're releasing like a pain. Huh. So it's like this whole episode being about finding your joy and having fun and increasing your vibration, right? Like when I go into it, and I hope you should come box with us,
dude.
When I go into that little dungeon, something in me is just like awakened in such a way of like therapy, emotional pain, physical pain. I know it's going to be released. Like I literally today, like when we were done boxing, I had to sit down and like, and the guys were in there, so I had to like kind of control it a little bit. If I was alone in there, I would have like literally let tears go, like big tears.
Yeah.
And because it releases something out of you that's very spiritual.
Yeah.
That you don't have to actually go hurt someone or whatever it is. And it's been. I need to find my way back to a little bit more consistent boxing because it does. I find a lot of joy, and my vibration's always higher after I train like that.
Yeah.
So it's also trying to find and self-identify what does increase your vibration, and it ain't fucking drugs and alcohol and partying, because it does increase your vibration.
It's a false vibration.
But the crash is a like. Hey, when it's like going up on the roller coaster, and right before you go down, you feel that and then you're just like, you're done. It's over. And that's exactly what the drugs and alcohol do, right? And so for me, and we're in constant pursuit of this, you and myself, like it's not like you and I are sitting here and got this shit just figured out.
Absolutely not.
We're in constant pursuit of it, but I do feel like we're levels ahead of most people that are walking around sort of with this like zombie like mentality, because it's sad, man. I empathize. I feel horrible for the people that aren't in constant pursuit of self-improvement.
Totally.
And finding a higher vibration and finding what their why is, finding like their joy, aligning themselves with friends that make them laugh, not friends that bring them down. Or you're laughing with your friends that night because you were doing a bunch of blow and you're up all night.
Yeah.
Then they're gone and you're alone and you're depressed. It's like, you got to remove all this false shit.
Yeah.
You have to do it. And you're going to wake up. We're 40 years old. You're going to wake up. And if you're 40 out here doing this shit, you better get it together.
Yeah.
Because you're going to wake up and you'll be 50 and you're going to wish this last decade something clicked on, because 40 is like the new 55,
or the new 20, whatever,
or whatever you want to call it. At least that's how I feel.
It's making me think of like motion creates emotion, right? Like when you're moving, like Albie was just talking about like starting his running journey. We were like, dude, you already look better in like a couple weeks, and like you can see the shift because that's a vibrational change. It's not just you can't lose that much weight in 10 weeks unless you cut your leg off. You know what I mean? But point is like you start to feel better because you're in motion, and then you want to do more of that. But like I also think the key is like we're going to talk about next week, like the gap versus the gain. A lot of us like see social media and all we see is the gap. Well, I'm here and that person is there, whether that's with in a relationship or money or cars or houses or whatever all that BS is, But like when you're able to look at yourself and see the progress you made, you're like, dang, I've come so far. And when you stop comparing yourself to other people, you get more joy. And then you realize, no, I really have come so far and I got so much further to go, but I'm just here today. And like we were just talking about in our group as well, it's like that's why fitness is so important. Like your vibration, what you put in your body, are you eating like potato chips and things that are garbage that aren't going to feed you? Thinking about alcohol, even like that lowers your vibration big time. That's why you feel like crap the next day.
God, man, it's so hard. It is so hard, dude.
Yeah.
And God is something. The belief in God, your faith in God, building a relationship with God is. It's more controversial now than I feel like. I don't know. Like when people talk about God, if it feels controversial, but I think if you're struggling with joy, you're struggling with happiness, you're struggling to try to find your vibration, ask God.
Yeah.
Lay in your bed at night and ask God to help you with your vibration, to show you the joy.
Totally.
Tell God to slap you in the face with joy.
Yeah.
And wait, because he'll show up.
Well, what does it say? The joy of the Lord is my strength. My strength is that, where you can have joy in spite of it. And there was a guy, have you heard of this guy named David R. Hawkins?
I'm a face guy. Is it a podcaster or is it an author?
He's an author. So he was able to map the actual energy of consciousness. So this like blew my mind when I learned this. And so he was able to, I don't know how he did it, but he was able to measure the energetic vibration of different emotions. So on this scale, and you can look this up, don't take my word for it. Shame is a 20, guilt is a 30, apathy is a 50, grief is 75, fear is 100, desire is 125, anger is 150. So if you think about it, if you're in guilt, anger feels really good because you're getting to a higher vibration. So then you get to pride, 175, courage, 200. Having the courage to say, no, I want to go work out for the first time. I want to go make an extra $10,000 this year. Whatever it is, like having that courage raises your vibration.
I'm going to step in front of this bear and let my family run.
Then check this one out, dude. Neutrality, meaning like, it is what it is. I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm not going to be happy
letting it go.
That's 250. That's letting it go. Then you go to willingness, 310, acceptance, 350. I can't change the past, but I can do something about it. Higher vibration than shame, right? Then you get to reason. Love is 500. Joy is 540, peace 600, and enlightenment is 700 to 1,000. So what are the fruits of the Spirit, right? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, highest vibrations.
Damn.
So when the Bible says
that's cool.
His ways are higher, that's literally vibrational. That's not just, oh, God's above us and we're down here.
That's my beef with the whole conversation with God. Is it is still intertwined with science and everything.
It is. So science proves that God's real.
Yeah.
It's just they might not give God credit for it, right?
Yeah.
To me, that's what the personal development world does. It takes all those truths that are in the Bible, but it doesn't give him credit for it.
God, man, I struggled for years, man. Every time I hear you talk and do this, I can tell that it's part of your life, right? Like I can tell you read and you consume God's knowledge and you really seek it. Like, and there's no faking it in you. And for me, and I think I'm speaking for a lot of people out there, especially in today's world and society where God isn't as popular, right? I took the journey I've had with God it's still going, right? And the relationship I'm trying to build with God is I would say like I'm in infant stages with this, and it's because I don't really know what it was. I don't know if I didn't feel deserving of this type of enlightenment or spiritual breakthroughs. I don't know if it's because I was always living in a darker shadow and constantly like doing things I wasn't supposed to be doing, hurting the ones that I loved tons, from the time I was a little boy, being raised Catholic to thinking like, oh my gosh, God knows I just did this. I just broke this window or I just lied to this. Right. And that's why with Catholicism, I have because if you look at that, guilt is a major component to that
you
religion.
Didn't give, you didn't tithe, you didn't do this. Yeah.
Hey,
you're going to hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's like, just recently, and I want to keep talking about this. The more we're speaking to each other and our platform grows, is I challenge more people to start having a private relationship or private conversations with God, because it's the way. And I've been going to sleep like this now for a little while, right? I don't know an exact date and time when this started, but it's always when you're at the bottom, when you are feeling helpless. Right, and that's what I say to any atheist. Oh, I bet you on your deathbed you'll say a prayer. Because there's nothing else to turn to. Yeah. Except, please help me.
Because everyone has that seed in them, no matter if you deny it or not. Yeah.
And so, but I found through 40 years old, I found from the time I was old enough to start, processing, conceptualizing prayer, to now, I've always asked, please God, don't let her be pregnant. Please God, if you let me out of this and the cops don't find out about this or the schools doesn't find out about this, or I'll never do it again, right? And you always deceive that conversation because you're saying a prayer and what happens? Most of the time, She's not pregnant. Most of the time, school didn't find out. I'm going to show up for you because, Alex, you just made me a promise. Promise you would never do this again. Year later, 6 months later, however long, sometimes the next day. Dear God, rid me of the alcohol and partying. I promise. If you just let this night go and everything, I'm never going to be doing this again.
Yeah.
Next weekend, you're like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah.
You just keep going back, and God just keeps forgiving you. And so my relationship with God has been very selfish. Please help me. I fucked up. Please
help me score a lot of touchdowns.
Please help me. I need this client to pay cash for this home and close in 10 days. For me. And so I've changed my thought process on this because I feel not guilty, but I do feel a little bad, a little ashamed that all these years that I've been blessed with so much. I mean, undeniably blessed with the most incredible opportunities and things that just don't make any sense. And continue to be blessed with these opportunities, second, third, fourth, fifth chances. Why? Why me? And so you get to this point of like, I'm sorry, I didn't see who you created. You knew this whole time. And so you're giving me more chances because you know I'm here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not to you, because I know you know. I don't need to apologize to you. You know me. You created me.
Yep.
I'll do better. I'm going to get 1% better. Wake me up tomorrow. I talked about this on the last episode. Wake me up tomorrow. Wake me up and I'll get up. Well, that conversation still goes every single night. Wake me up and I'll get up. But he plays tricks on me to be funny. There's humor in God.
Yeah.
You wait. No matter what time you wake me up, I'll get up. But if you wake me up at 3:30 or 4 o'clock, I'm not going to get up 3:30 on the dot. Boom. This is still happening. And I'm like, hey, why are you doing that? And now, after this morning, I'm like,
because you asked.
Well, no, but now I'm like, are you wanting me to get up at 3:30 or 4 o'clock? Why that early? So I'm like, I wonder if I should just get moving. Because I keep and this is for another conversation, but for some reason I have this conversation, dude. I'm not gaslighting or joking about this. I go to bed and I go through and I grateful for everything. Give me strength to keep enduring all this pain. Let me forgive. Let me lead through love, not fear. Go through my whole, prayer and thank you for El, thank you for Mulan, pray for Hong, pray for everyone. And then I'm like, hey, before my last thing, I need help waking up tomorrow. I don't need anything else from you except just help waking up. My morning routine has been off for so long. I need help waking up. If you wake me up at 3:30, I just can't get up at 3:30. If you wake me up at 5:30, I can make that. I can manage this.
Yeah.
Boom, dude, 3:30. On the dot. And I'm like, ugh. I told you I wasn't going to get up if you did that.
Yeah.
So I don't feel as bad because I told you I wasn't going to get up if you did it. But you're playing. And I go and I roll over and I wrestle with sleep for the next few hours. I'm like, So something, I'm like, all right. And I almost did it this morning. I was like, it was like 3:38. And I'm like, should I go and just like have a long morning at the DAC? It's open 24 hours. Should I sauna?
Yeah.
Should I cold plunge everything, get ready for boxing? I mean, I look tired now. Imagine if I was up at 3:30.
Oh, that'd be brutal, dude.
That's not like 3:30s are like Mark Wahlberg weird shit. You know what I mean?
That's way too early. Like, I'm a firm believer you need like 7 hours. At least me personally,
I've been getting a good 7,
Yeah.
6.5, 7. That's that's magic numbers.
I was listening to that one book I told you about, 10X is easier than 2X. And what the author talks about, he hasn't watched TV in like 5 years. And honestly, like,
there's magic in that.
Me and my wife, we used to like sit on the couch and kind of watch TV. Well, you've just been going straight to bed at like 9 o'clock. We get the kids in bed at like 8:15, get ready. It's like 9:30, probably more like 10. But like what I was doing was falling asleep on the couch. And then I would ruin my sleep. Then I wouldn't go to bed till like 12:31 for like a 10-minute nap. And so like getting to that point of just going to bed.
Do you read?
It has made me... I'm getting
like,
there.
do you just get there and like...
One thing I started
you guys
doing,
talk
I started journaling like 3 things that I'm grateful for that happened today, and then one of my focuses for the next day to give my subconscious mind a direction to like as I'm sleeping.
I like that.
Because Holy Spirit's never sleeping, dude.
No.
So like, but it's up to you to do that. Like I was looking up the verse. It says, in Deuteronomy 8:18. He said, I'm the Lord your God, and I give you the power to get wealth. So we all have that ability. It's just if we tap into it. Now, I think you can plug in anything in it. Power to get happiness, power to get joy, power to get... And I think that's the place we need to ask God, like, hey, God, I need more wisdom. But then it's up to you to make the decision.
Go seek the wisdom.
Give me the wisdom to know whether I go right or go left. Open the doors that need to be open for me and close the doors that need to be closed. And give me the courage to walk through the doors that are open. You know, that's the prayers I think you should be praying for. It's she thanks, or then like, hey, give me the abilities or help me with the skill set I need in order to bring to what you've created me to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you get into that. And that's like what a true conversation. You've actually challenged me, dude, like on those real conversations. Cause I've been like, there's been definitely times, you know, like asked, is real estate the right thing to do? And all I hear back is, do you trust me? Okay. Well, I'm going through this door then, you know, I'm just going to keep going. So, man, we got a lot to talk about, dude. This is so much fun.
It was good, though.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, we got some good stuff out today.
But I would just say, like, for anyone listening, I always like to give you next steps, like give you something to act on. And like, if you want to have more fun or you're in that low place, start looking for opportunities to give, whether it's that homeless person on the street or just opening the door for someone with a smile. Give a smile.
Yeah.
And it starts to shift that mentality.
Yeah, give a compliment.
Exactly. From what you don't have to what you do have. Because when you start looking at your life, for me, the reason I know God's real is because I look back on my life and saw so many times I literally should have died. Multiple times where there was a hand that moved things out of the way or helped guide this or guide that. And it's like, yeah, dude, I mean, I tried to deny that you were real, but there's just way too much evidence of this. And so for me, that's really all it comes down to is evidence.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, this was episode 18. Have more fun. Seed Time and Harvest Podcast.
Peace.
Peace.